Hey there, I am once again Jesse Dollemore, and this is The Conversation. So, one of the pronouncements Donald Trump has made many times over the course of the last year has been that he is the most militaristic person ever.
You know, I am the most militaristic.
I'm the most militaristic person ever.
I am the most military-based and the most militaristic person.
I am stronger militarily than any of them. Jobs will be my strength, but I think I'll be equally strong militarily. And yet I'm the most militaristic person there is.
Now, having myself served proudly for several years in the United States Marine Corps, this claim sticks with me, and it bothers me a lot. It's a bold thing to say of oneself. I mean, I'm actually a United States Marine, and I would never say
I'm the most militaristic person ever.
Also, I should say that I don't believe that prior military service should be a requisite for holding the office of President of the United States. I don't use it as some sort of candidate litmus test prior to offering up my vote or support. I just think it's a benefit, a useful tool, if you will. My particular problem concerning the ridiculous statement from Donald Trump is the fact that he had several opportunities to join the United States military. All of these chances were dodged by Trump through 5 deferments. 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 separate dates where Donald Trump dodged being drafted into the United States military. That's strange, right? I mean, considering
I'm the most militaristic person ever.
Like I always say, don't just take my word for it, though. Let's take a look at Donald Trump's actual draft record provided by the National Archives and Records Administration in Kansas City, Missouri. And please pay attention to these particular entries here, 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 and here. The interesting thing for me is this first 4 are labeled 2S, which is a student deferment. And the last one here is 4F, which is assigned to males not capable of serving for medical or psychological reasons. The interesting thing for me on this part is the date. Only 5 months after graduating from college, his draft classification goes from 2S, or student, to 4F, medical or psychological. Apparently, the young and fit Donald Trump was all of a sudden injured in such a manner that disqualified him from serving his nation. When asked about these deferments, his presidential campaign released this statement. While attending the University of Pennsylvania's prestigious Wharton School of Finance, Mr. Trump received a medical deferment, a minor medical deferment, for bone spurs on both heels of his feet. Medical deferment while in college, huh? Well, we've already seen that that's a lie. The medical deferment came after college. Also, bone spurs. Come on, dude. I have bone spurs. What a terrible excuse. The only bone spur Donald Trump has is wherever courage is manufactured in the body. Also, let me get this straight. The same goof who brags about how awesome and healthy he is the same turd whose physician, yeah, I know, that's his doctor. He said in a letter which starts off, "To whom my concern." Come on, Bornstein. Well, after the greeting, let's hope it gets better. He wrote that Trump's test results were astonishingly excellent. He also made the super scientific and medically professional claim that Donald Trump would be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. So, mid-20s, too sickly and infirmed for the military, 70s, strong like bull. Apparently, it took 50 years for Donald Trump to discover the best methods to not only deport Muslims and Mexicans, but also illness from his body. Goddamn. Now, all of these facts we've talked about and this statement,
The most militaristic person ever.
are only made worse when one knows how Donald Trump really feels about the military and the true heroes who have served. Take John McCain, for instance. When asked by Frank Luntz about the service of this true living American hero, Donald Trump said this.
He lost. He let us down. But, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that because I don't like losers. But Frank, let me get to it. He hit me. He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
So let me ask you, does that sound to you like someone who has a deep, abiding reverence and respect for the United States military and the men and women who selflessly serve? Does that sound like someone who is...
The most militaristic person ever.
Yeah, I dare say no. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the story of John McCain, let me give you the super summarized YouTube version. During Vietnam, the same time that Donald Trump was dodging the draft in college, McCain was a naval fighter pilot and the son of a 4-star admiral, who he himself was the son of a 4-star admiral. The McCain family is a family of distinction. Well, John McCain was hit by a missile and shot down. His plane landed in a Hanoi lake. He broke both of his arms, both of his legs, and he was dragged from the lake by a bunch of people. He was beaten, his shoulder was crushed, and for the record, he was also stabbed. He was taken to a prison nicknamed Hanoi Hilton. Now, you may have heard of Hanoi Hilton because it was famous for all of the terrible stuff that went on there. His captors refused to treat his injuries and instead continually beat and interrogated him. And they only started treating his many broken bones once it was discovered who his dad was. He was beaten and tortured on and off for almost 6 years. 6 years. At one point, several years into this nightmare for him, for propaganda reasons, his captors offered to let him go. John McCain refused release and had decided instead to stay and weather more torture and violence unless they also offered to release the other Americans with whom he was imprisoned. Look, you may not agree with him politically. That's reasonable. But it is undeniable that John McCain is a man of distinction and honor. He's a hero, despite what Donald J. Trump,
The most militaristic person ever.
says.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's
in
a
the
war
POW
hero because he
camp.
was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Thanks a lot. Hey, if you're really a glutton for punishment and you want some more of this, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks a lot.